What's going on, guys? F2G here, and today I'm going to be doing my personal top 5 Halo games. So these are going to be games from the main series and won't include spin-offs that have a different style of gameplay. So games like Halo Wars or Halo Spartan Assault and Spartan Strike won't be on here, but maybe games like ODST and Reach, which have a very similar style of gameplay to the other games in the main series, may be on here if I choose them. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video, and please like and subscribe if you do. Number 5. My number 5 game is Halo 3 ODST. ODST is a very different type of Halo game, and it's a style that I actually really like. In the game, you play as the rookie after you've been separated from your ODST team, and you have to find clues about what happened in the city hours earlier. It was an interesting departure from the Halo game's usual style. The characters and voice acting also really good in this game. I think they got most of the entire cast of the TV series Firefly, so it's got Nathan Fillion and all that in it, who's also in Halo 5. The city of New Mombasa is pretty damn atmospheric. It's very foreboding, and the music that plays when you're exploring only adds to the tension that you often feel in it. But I just really like how there's a drastic difference between the day and night levels. So the level on screen right now is a night level, but the day levels are really action packed, and there's this one level where at the beginning there's a massive battle on a bridge, and there's all sorts of crazy shenanigans happening and stuff. It's just a really different Halo game, and it's personally a style that I'd really like to see done again, maybe with the whole open world thing. And yeah, they also have that Destiny Easter egg, which is pretty annoying. But anyway, Halo 3 ODST, guys. Number 4. Halo 2. Halo 2 is a great game, and it's probably the most loved Halo game. I really do love the game's amazing campaign and how much more modern it feels compared to the original, which is Halo Combat Evolved. The soundtrack is very, very good, and the story is quite different compared to the first one. The first one's story is very straightforward, but Halo 2's story is a lot more broad and sets up for a sequel much better. And it also has the whole thing about the Covenant civil war inside the Holy City, and the brutes taking over from the elites to start the whole great journey thing. The multiplayer was also one of the biggest things of its time, and pretty much single-handedly launched Xbox Live and put Xbox on the map, because it was just so good. I believe that apparently it actually introduced partying properly and sending messages over Xbox Live and all that sort of stuff. I'm not sure if that's true, because I wasn't actually able to play the original Xbox version of Halo 2 online. I was only able to play it in the original, not the original, the Master Chief Collection, which didn't work. But I thought it was a good game anyway. Some of the problems I have is that the game blatantly sets up for Halo 3 at the end, which is a problem that Halo 5 has, where it sets up for Halo 6. And also, I really don't like the advertising campaign. Halo 2 is advertised that it's all going to be on Earth, there's going to be this big battle, we've got to save Earth, but really it's not like that much at all, which is the same thing with Halo 5. I do really like the game though, and it's one of my favourites. Number 3. Halo 4. This is the moment in the list where people are going to get their pitchforks out and hate me and my opinions. What? Halo 4? That game sucks. Even though Halo 4 has an amazing campaign and one of the better stories in the Halo series, the voice acting is great in this game, and the motion capture looks very realistic. Halo 4 is not a bad game by any stretch of the imagination, and whilst I do really like the game, I can understand why it got a bad reputation. Although I do think that it shouldn't have been criticised to the extent that it did. It is not as good as some of the other games in the series, but it's still better marginally to a lot of the stuff we get nowadays instead. I think the reason why I got a bad rep is because the multiplayer was way too twitchy. It felt much more like Call of Duty, whereas Halo is usually very methodical and slow, and you've got to plan your movements and stuff. But in Halo 4 you couldn't really do that because of how fast it was, and you could sprint everywhere, and it was just all hectic and crazy. but they did change that in Halo 5, and it does feel a lot more like Halo now. Anyway, that leads us on to...
What are you after? The others.
Number 2. Halo 5 Guardians. In my opinion, Halo 5 Guardians is, in some areas, as unfairly criticized as Halo 4 is. But I can actually really understand some of the problems of Halo 5. And whilst I do really like the game, and that's why it's at my number 2 spot of every single Halo game like out there, there are some problems that cannot be overlooked. Let's talk about, say, the bad advertising that completely misrepresents the game. All that stuff about Locke vs Chief, and none of it happens. And it's so annoying because that storyline looks so good. The most conflict that they have throughout the entire game is a small fist fight that lasts about a minute. It's pretty disappointing. And also, the characters are pretty bad as well. They don't really say a lot, and the stuff they do say is pretty exposition-y. The story isn't the best in the series either, but I do really like Halo 5 for a lot of reasons that aren't to do with that. Most of it comes down to the combat. The combat in Halo 5 is excellent, and it's probably my favourite in the series. It's very fast, and while some people may see it as a problem, it being so fast, it feels balanced in Halo 5. Like in multiplayer, if you run after you've been shot, your shields won't recharge, which I think fixes most of the problem with sprint in Halo. But there's also so many other good things with this game, like the level design for the campaign is excellent. There's like all these like different paths you can go down and find new things, and you can tell that it was really built around the 4-player co-op idea. And that is a good idea. There's also like the free DLC that came out for quite a few months after the game did. There was the Forge stuff and the big team battle and Infection and everything, and whilst a lot of you will say it should have been in the full game, I didn't actually mind having it over the course of the few months after, because it gave me something to be excited for, you know, after the game came out, and it also kept me coming back to play it more. I just really like playing Halo 5. It's actually my most played Halo game, with over 10 days just in this game, which is pretty insane for me. But I think that this could have been better though, if they hadn't changed some of the stuff in development. Number 1. Halo Combat Evolved. Halo Combat Evolved is my personal favourite Halo game, and it's the game that kickstarted the whole Halo series. It basically made the Xbox a household name because it was so good. It was crazy in comparison to the other first-person shooters of the time in terms of what you could do, the level design, and just like everything about Halo was just incredible. It had a storyline that was engaging and actually had like plot twists and stuff, which was such a new thing for the time. And it's something we probably take for granted a lot now, seeing as, you know, storytelling in video games has improved so much over the past 15 years. But man, this game is just so much fun to play still. Like, even so many years after its release. It doesn't play like a new game obviously because it is so old, but it just feels like so much fun. Like, and I really do like how much more simple it is compared to the newer games. The newer games have like kept adding all this new stuff, and that's fine because a sequel needs to bring new things to the table, so it isn't the same as the last one. But in some cases, like with Halo 4, they just changed the gameplay way too much. Like for me, Halo Combat Evolved is always going to be the classic Halo game. It's going to be the game that if I'm like, you know, wanting to play Halo one day, I'll go, you know what, I'm just going to play Halo Combat Evolved because it's just so much fun. It's a real shame that the multiplayer didn't work properly in the Master Chief Collection, because back in 2001, 2002, this game wasn't even playable online because I don't think Xbox Live had launched by then.
Okay, let's move out.
I really like the simplicity of the storyline in this game. So, and this may be spoilers for those who haven't played it yet, but really the game's very old. It's quite predictable in terms of what happens at the end. But anyway, I'll go on now. So yeah, spoiler alert. But the storyline is basically you just crash onto Halo, then you find out a load of stuff about Halo, and then Halo turns out to be the weapon and the big kind of problem because the Covenant are trying to set it off, and then there's the whole thing with the flood, and then I think that's what happened from what I can remember. I've played this game so many times, but I'm just feeling so tired of it. So sorry if it's not right. And then at the end you just blow up Halo and everything's all cool and dandy. Anyway, that's some of the reasons why I really like Halo Combat Evolved. Anyway guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please hit the subscribe button and like the video, because that helps me out a lot. Also remember, this is my opinion for the video, so a lot of you may not agree with what I've put on the list, and if you don't agree, then and you feel like telling me in the comments, please be civil about it, because, you know, this is just my thoughts really. And anyway, thanks for watching the video.